Welcome back to Attingham Park, and all the bales have been brought back up to the yard. Most of them are stacked. Oh, I had a nightmare. If you're on Discord, you will have known after the last video where I did all of the baling, someone forgot to save the game, so I had to rebale it all and then stack it. So yeah, didn't show most of it because I kind of just want to get it done. I have brought myself a nice JCB 4220 with a front loader and with the base game Robert bale grab. This thing is really good. I used it right at the start on my Ravenwood Dairy series, and I forgot how good it is. It's made stacking most of these bales awesome. The JCB is really good because of the 4-wheel steer. Although it's a big tractor, it's manoeuvrable, but because it's a bigger tractor, it can handle the bales we're moving. It's got the 3.5 ton fent weight on the back, or 3.3 ton fent weight on the back. And you can see picking up 6 bales is a bit of a challenge. It's 36,000 litres, so it is a lot, but it was a nice way of getting lots of bales stacked. Yeah, I was not happy when I loaded the game, and I was like, wait a minute, this is before I did all work, because I did all of that baling in a single session. So yeah, that was a bit frustrating, but it's done. Most of the bales are stacked. I'm not going to show you all of the remaining bale stacking because although bale stacking is quite good in FS22, it's kind of hard to record because I like to move the camera around quite a lot, and that doesn't work when you've got a camera recording. So just show you this last stack. I'll get the other one. I think it's a stack of 24 bales, I think. So I edited the Bailey trailer so it would do 3 high. You'll see later that that doesn't quite work on square bales because we're going to be doing some square bale whole crop silage later on, which should be kind of cool. But yeah, it didn't quite work with that, so I need to tweak it a bit more. Basically, I wanted to make it quicker to get them back, and I actually wanted to stack them 4 high, but we went 3. So time to get some different kit on the farm. We are selling the big class, the Mini Manitou, and the Keenan. So the Axion 960 is going. It's coming back in a very different form. The Mini Manitou because it's struggling, and the Keenan because we need a bigger mixer. I'm making at least 2 mixes a day now, sometimes 3, and that's it's harder to get a good mix. So time for some new vehicles. Again, if you're on Discord, this won't be a surprise to you. I shared it a few days ago. I want it in my game. It is the Axion 960 TerraTrack Monster Edition, because I have a problem with Monster, and this thing is cool. In FS19, I had a Class Lexion Monster Edition, and that thing was cool. And so, yeah, this is coming into our game. Pretty much a direct swap. It's the TerraTrack, obviously, rather than the normal. But yeah, look at that thing. Ridiculous, but I like it. It's got air horns, which I'm not so fast on. I couldn't show you the beacons because I was recording this on my laptop, and the laptop doesn't have a home key. And I normally have another key combination mapped, but I hadn't got around to doing it with the reinstall. But telehandlers, I haven't really got any installed. So we're going to stick with class, and we're going to go for the Scorpion. It's a nice bit of kit. It will do a good job for just helping load up the feed a bit better. I really like the Mini Manitou, but it just wasn't up to the job on this farm for the scale of work we were doing. And last but not least, we are going to go for the Silo King Trailed Line 1000 plus 435, which is a 45,000 litre forage wagon, but it needs a big tractor to run it, and that big tractor is going to be the ridiculous Axion because it's cool. It's got some minor issues with textures. You can see there the monster claws are flickering. I'll have a look at fixing that in the next one, but yeah, I'm from Essex. Just go with it, okay? Just go with it. So this is going to, the big fieldwork jobs we'll be using the Axion for. This is going to take over, but also it's going to run the feed wagon. I think that or the Valtra Q series. It's a big feed wagon. It needs a big tractor. The T that we had in a slightly lower horsepower with the CVT transmission would have been perfect. I just didn't want another tractor on the farm. I want to keep the G series because it's a nice little fieldwork tractor, and the Arian we have is not quite powerful enough, so that's what we're going for. We've got 2 tractors that can run the feed mixer, so I think we'll be okay. I do need to blow some more straw in the pen, but I will do that at a later date. Just grabbing the bale fork to get a mix done. We do actually need to do some balancing of the feed for the cows as well. Things have got a bit unbalanced from the mix last time, which you all seem to really enjoy. Actually, it might have been 2 episodes ago. I can't remember. So now a fair way through my holiday when you're watching this, and I have been trying to crank out as many videos as possible around work and having a poorly greyhound, so that will give you an idea of what day this is. And so yeah, I think I'll have them all done to get back to normal just as I get back from the holiday, but if there's a gap you'll know why. So I think I need to get one more done, and I need to get the videos done for Patreon as well, or at least one video done for Patreon. Because I feel bad when I don't make the videos for those guys. So yep, that's probably this evening's job. So 1 bale of grass silage. We're now going to get some grain mix. I'm going to use the bucket so we don't have a repeat of last time, and again because it's a much bigger mixer there isn't much more leeway on what we can put in. So we're going to have a bucket of grain mix. We're going to put some molasses in because we've got the molasses tank from Just Add Adam. So I want to make use of that. I'm thinking of getting a water point as well because we can use water in the mix. And I'll just make it go a little bit further. Jeez, yeah. It's a cheap option for making the food go a little bit further. We're planning, once we've used up the last of the maize silage bales, I'm going to start trying to empty the clamp, which is why we're doing just the 1 grass silage bale, because I want to go heavy on the maize silage to get rid of that. And we also have a lot of manure backing up now. I think I said that last time. We need to get rid of that in winter as soon as we can. As soon as we get some fields harvested, we'll start spreading that. Might get courseplay going and a bit of auto drive because I haven't done that in a long time. And I have a video on how to do that, so I should at least maybe make use of it because it would be kind of useful. Just going to get the molasses tank refilled. Nice and cheap. I think that's going to change because I keep forgetting to update maizePlus on this save, and I do it for this video because we need the green mowing feature. And yeah, because I've got so many different mods folders, I kept forgetting to update it basically. So that is coming. I'm going to bring the mixer over because we need to put a lot of maize silage in here now. Basically, we're going to put enough to fill the mixer in. I am going to get rid of that broken gate as well because I think we're going to want that space for the next round of grass silage bales. I will try and stack those a bit higher, but it didn't work out when I tried. Molasses in now. No, not quite. Sorry, I had a quick break and literally had to hit pause. Molasses going in now. The scale that we're doing this at, we could probably do with it pumping out a bit quicker. I think Adam has sent me an update to this with a bigger tank in. I think I've lost track. He may not have, but he is working on a bigger version, has finished. I don't know. I can't remember. Sorry, mate. It's been a week, as you know. Probably know. Maybe not. This week shouldn't have been a week. This week should have been a good week. I'm on holiday. So yeah, you can see that flickering texture is bugging me slightly. I think it probably just needs a very slight edit to the i3D to just pull that texture out of the model of the tractor, and it should be fine. But yeah, we need to put a lot of maize silage in here now. Maths. live 36,000 litres, which is a fair bit. So, but I want to get through all these bales as quickly as we can so that I can get into emptying the clamp before the maize is ready to harvest. I'm probably going to bale it all this year. I find working with the bales on here works really well, particularly now we've got a big wagon. Unless we're going to do any more work with the BGA, then it might be worth it, because loose is easier with that, sort of. Although with that drive, that reversing bunker silo, the pumps and hoses BGA is pretty bale friendly as well, actually. Haven't tried it, but I wonder if you could unload the Anderson bale stacker straight into there. That'd be really cool. A bit like you can with the base game ones, where you can unload it in front, because there's got a bale trigger in front, and mine has a bale trigger in front. Yeah. Hopefully we'll be seeing the update, if we haven't already, because obviously I'm recording this about a week in advance, so hopefully the update for pumps and hoses is either out or on its way soon. Because that would be nice, because I really want to dive into the finances of those BGAs, but while it's broken, I'm just not touching them. Certainly in anything where I'm playing how I like to play, where I care about the finances and stuff. So yeah, at the moment, just pumping and hosing and not BGAing. You can see we've got lots of silage, but everything else is really low. So although we now have a mixer wagon full of TMR, we are going to get to work with some loose stuff first. So we need to put some hay in. We can use some grain mix, and we can use some of the sugar beets that we harvested, which we've not really been making use of, because we have the Ruby bucket. We have a tractor now that's not going to fall over when it picks up that bucket. So we should be able to get everything better balanced, and then we can put the TMR in. And I'm hoping that for a while at least we'll be down to one mix a day on that, because otherwise normally it wouldn't bother me. I like that I have to feed the animals more with maizePlus, but on this I'm trying to push through time, and the times where I've had to skip days, I just spend an hour making TMR in tiny batches. So yeah, I've been using park vehicle as well while I was doing stuff, and so I need to run and jump in the JCB, which is parked over. No. Why am I getting the QC? It's because I parked the JCB around here the first time, because I didn't think I'd need it again for a bit, so I put it out of the way with the forage harvester. But we do need it, and it's got the Ruby beet shredder on it as well. This works as a normal bucket as well, so we can use it for the grain mix. It's expensive. It should work for almost everything, you'd think. But what we have at the moment, pretty much for doing cut potatoes and cut beets. So I did think about using a trailer and shredding into a trailer, but filling from the silo and emptying straight into a trailer would have maybe made things a bit quicker. But we've got a couple 100,000 litres of sugar beet to help balance things out. I really need a tractor shed on here. You can just see in the distance the Arian is waiting with the mulcher to mulch the grass fields. I don't often do that, but I thought I would, just to get that extra tiny bit of yield, because we kind of need that. So I'll have Courseplay running that while I do the whole crop silage, which is our main job for today. Doing some green mowing, because I haven't really done that in anger yet. You'll have seen I did a video on it, looking at how much you get. It's pretty good, so we're going to be doing some now. We need some whole crop silage for the sheep. It's mainly why I want to do it, but also it'll be handy just to have more silage to help keep the cows fed as they get older. The oldest ones are getting close to 28 months, which is peak age, which means that their food consumption will have hit 5,000 litres a month, but it'll stop going up, which is cool. But we'll be getting some calves, and do we keep them, raise them on, sell them on, move them into the beef pasture for a bit so they are more useful? Probably what I'll do is what I've done on Greenland, and in the next day or so, depending on how it works out, I'm going to do a recap on that series, because I've not played it in 2.5 months, and some of you probably have never seen any of it, so I'm going to do a quick recap of what that series is, just to give you an idea, and then we'll get stuck into that as well, I think. Looks like we're going to need to make some more grain mix soon because we're using more of it now. We have plenty of crop left, so I don't think that's a problem. But yeah, a few buckets of that, a few buckets of beets, a couple of bales of hay, and things look a lot better in the main feed trough, so which is good. Going to be getting some belts when we get around to loading up that loose silage. I'm not going to do that by buckets when we need to be bucketing in, 30 odd thousand litres, unless we get a wheel loader in with a big silage fork. Then I might. Or if we can get a big silage fork to stick on the JCB, that would work as well. And that could become quite a useful tractor for doing that kind of thing, because we could put jewels on it and we could use it in the clamp if we do any more silage in the clamp. We might do last cut of grass silage in there. Maybe. Depends how we are doing with bales around the yard. We're going to have a hay cut to do, so next day, so second day of May, just running over to the sheep because they could do with a bit of food, and we have one bale of the cheaty condition grass left, which I could do with, again, slightly expanding the grazing area for the cows. I might have to add in a few more foliage areas to just really cover that pasture, or we'll get the mower out and just mow the areas that grazing is not getting. But yeah, last one of these. Hopefully grazing will kick in. If not, we'll have to work something else out. Might have to do some indirect grazing with the sheep. But yeah, they are much better. Plenty of food. Holsteins still have plenty of food left, and the balance looks about right to me. And the limousines are grazing, so we're good there as well. Let's get the mulch going. I don't normally worry about mulching grass fields, but just let this guy run in the background while we work on the whole crop silage in our big wheat field, which is my next job. I have, I'm looking forward to seeing what we get off of this. It should be quite good, and it's going to make sure that we can feed the sheep in a less cheaty way without having to buy stuff. You could buy clover silage or alfalfa silage, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to use what we can grow. You can grow everything you need to feed most of the animals. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think the sheep, I could grow everything that I needed to feed them. And I want to minimize what I have to buy, basically. And it gets, it's another option. It's an option to show you another thing that we can do in maizePlus, which is green mowing of wheat, oats and barley to get whole crop silage. And we're going to bale it. We're going to square bale it. You can square bale whole crop silage. And we'll be wrapping that with, there's a square bale wrapper that comes with maizePlus, which lets you wrap the bigger 240 centimeter bales as well. So we're going to make use of that because why not? Trying to show off as many features as I can of maizePlus in this series. Things that I might not necessarily do in a normal Let's Play. And there's another one that I'm going to show off next time, which we'll come on to in a bit. Because it becomes apparent to me that we need to do something else for feeding the sheep. A little bit of foreshadowing there of what's to come. So just hooking up the mowers. This the Deutz 9 series is a really good tractor to use with these Kverneler mowers. If you want to use something like this but lower horsepower, the Kubota pack has a lower horsepower requirement, and weirdly that's a real world thing. I used the Kubota ones on my Carlson series because they have a lower horsepower requirement, and I thought it was a bit cheaty, and I got called out on it being a bit cheaty. So I went and had a look, and Kubota own Kverneler. These are actually the Vicon ones, but Kubota own Kverneler who make these mowers, and the horsepower requirement is different between the two. I don't know how. The slightly weird texture flickering we're getting here is because I'm catching grass as well as whole crop. So you can see if we're just in the wheat, the texture's fine. If it's catching the edge of the field, you get this kind of weird flickering effect, which is a little bit annoying, but it's just a feature of it. Trying to put two crops through the mower at once. You can actually see that sometimes it's putting grass through and sometimes it's putting whole crop through that left-hand mower. So yeah, you might want to put a bit of a headland, a dirt headland around, like bits of this field have. Oh, I was talking on Maple. I haven't done it yet because I recorded this before I did the voiceover for that. I really want to hear your opinion. I think that on here, particularly here, we're right next to the cow pasture for the other cow farm. I'm going to add in animals into those to bring the map to life. They won't be owned by me, so I won't be caring for them. Just to simulate that the other farms have stuff on them. Kind of like the animal dealer has on here, so you can see the Arian there doing its mulching. So yeah, like the animal dealer on here has dummy animals in. I want to put them on the other farms because I think it'll look really cool. I mentioned it in the Maypole video. Kartek, go check his channel out, is running a series on here, and he has that farm and he has cattle in that pasture next to field 33. So I want to ask him what he's got, and I'm going to stick those in there because I think it'll just bring it to life if the other farm has kit on it. I might do that even as well. There's another thing idea that, so just getting this maizePlus square bale wrapper, it has a few more color wrap options, which is cool, and it will do the big bales, and it'll do up to 150 centimeter round bales and up to 240 centimeter square bales. So kind of cool, worth having if you're going to do big bale silage. We're going to do 180 centimeter bales because I want smaller bales to feed the sheep with, because their trough only holds 9,000 litres, so having huge bales is not going to help. So we're going for the smallest ones possible. Yeah, the other idea that I had is, because I think the laptop can handle it now, the better gaming laptop, putting some kit in the yard there as well for the other farm, so it looks like a real farm. Something that I'm toying with, and I'm really curious what people think. So the wrapper is going to go off, follow me, and I'm going to drive the Valtra, and we'll bale this. I needed one headland because the yield was pretty good. I think we got well over 100,000 litres, which is going to be plenty for what we need. My plan is to let the rest grow on, and we'll combine it to do grain mix. And yeah, so this field in front of us would have cows in it. I think that's going to look really good. Yeah, so I'm going to try and do that between videos. I'm also going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you all supporting the channel. Kartek's in there. There's a few other YouTubers in there as well. December Farms, the Warwick Dog, I think he does YouTube as well. There may be a couple of others as well, so go check them out because they all do good stuff. Hilly Farms, who made me the cow pasture on here that I'm using and has some really cool stuff in the works. He's got a really cool map coming. Hopefully he doesn't mind me saying that. Yeah, so lots of really cool people that support the channel, which is, they're all really cool actually, because this is a weird hobby of mine and people want to help me with it, which is really nice. So I don't quite have a follow me set. We need a little bit less of an offset to get those bales going in, but they do in fact sort themselves out. I was just trying to adjust it from the front tractor, but I couldn't remember the key combination for that. It's been a while. The slight problem we have is we are still getting 7,000 litre bales, which is too big for the sheep pasture. So I think in June we're going to mow a headland around the barley field. It's not quite ready yet, and we're going to do tiny silage bales. Yep, you can bale the little bales from the little Massey baler. You can bale those, and then if you use the stacker thing that turns them into big bales, you can wrap those in maizePlus. So we're going to have a crack at that next time. There's a special stacker that's part of maizePlus that you need to use. But yeah, we'll have a look at that. Maybe not in the next video, but certainly the one after that. Because I think those are going to be much more appropriate for feeding the sheep, because 7,000 litres is way too big. We want probably, 2 or less. I think they're going to work out about 700 or 800 litres with the mini bales. So that'll work. That'll do the job. The other thing I like is with the draw distance all turned up, you can see the maizePlus silos in the background, and we still need to visit those to make some more beat pot bales. Although I do know that Just Add Adam has a sugar factory coming that does... I do like seeing the farm more busy. He has a sugar factory coming, which takes... I think it takes in sugar beets and produces sugar, beet pulp and molasses, which is the outputs you get from making sugar. So that's going to be really cool if you're into your productions and maizePlus, because you can make your own beet pulp and your own molasses. We have a lot of sugar beets on here. I may throw that in next time because he has sent me a copy of it. It may be out by then, because I know it's in testing at the moment, so I may already be too late for that, but we'll see. It might be useful on here. I'm not a massive fan of productions, as you'll know. But I think that one could be quite cool. So... and we'll just get these last few bales wrapped. I lost count of how many we got. Yeah, I think it was about 20 odd. But yeah, you can see 7,000 litres. I think it's too big. I think that is too big for what we want. So these will probably end up going into the feed mixer, and we're going to make some even smaller silage bales for the sheep. I'll show off the mini bales. I might look at some other options as well. I need to check. I think all of 4D Modding's balers are supported, so we might use the D1000 because that makes slightly smaller bales as well, and that might be better. And the barley field next door is what we'll use for that. It's not ready yet, but it will be ready next month, I think. So, and we'll do the same. We'll cut a headland and bale it. That should do the job quite nicely. So we just need to get these collected and stacked in the yard, and we can call it a day. So just use a bit of follow me, get this guy back to the yard. Really like follow me. It's definitely a mod that I use quite a lot. So you might notice as well that I'm running the mod that auto saves. I had totally forgotten about that. I use it on Furling, the series that is for the channel patrons, but I've added it into every other save on here after losing several hours work. You can see the maize needs spraying as well. That's a job for next time. But yeah, so you've got the I can't remember who it's by or what it's called. I think it's game save mod, something like that. And if you've got auto save set, excuse me, cows, damn fence is broken again. If you've got auto save set, you don't need to go to the menu for it to kick in, which is really useful. Partly because it really bugs me having to, you go into the menu after playing for a while and then you sit and wait for it to auto save. This does it in the background automatically. You get a little bit of a lag spike, but it's not awful. And yet it then means that things run okay. So let's get these bales picked up. You will notice that I still have the extra height set on this trailer, and with these little bales it gets a bit silly. I need to reset it. Yeah, we're going to use auto load to get these loaded up. It's a very low-key focused episode, auto load and green mowing. If you didn't know, Loki implemented the green mowing script for maizePlus, if I haven't said that already about 4 times, but and yes, I know you can keep moving when you stack bales with auto load, but it makes a mess, so it's easier to stop for me generally. You can see we're still mulching away in the background as well. And yeah, I think we need to fertilise those fields next time. We might use slurry. I might just throw some solid fert on because the fertilising is a bit all over the place, and it would be nice to get it to a uniform level. And then next time I do manure or slurry, we might use the John Deere Magic Eye thing to get a more uniform nitrogen application, because it's pretty variable. It's a cool feature of precision farming, the non-homogeneous organic fertilizer, but it looks a bit messy. So everything loaded up, 126,000 litres of whole crop silage, or it will become whole crop silage. So we just need to get these stacked, and yeah, I think these are too big to use for sheep feed. So I'm going to show you some of the mini bales because they're cool, and I don't think many people have realised you can do that. And we'll also we might do some smaller bales from one of 4D Modding's balers. I'll have a play and see which one I like the look of. The other thing I've done in the background is move the slurry from the pit in the cow pen to our backup pumps and hoses tank, because we need to keep that, the one for the animal pen, empty to keep the milk flow going. The milk production is pretty good now. I can't remember how much it is, but it's a fair bit. It's a fair bit. We're going to get up to 90,000 litres a month once it's in full flow. Sounds a bit wrong. So we're going to stack these bales next to the grass bales we've got here. And yeah, before we do the next lot of baling, we need to move that gate. Or we could go against the wall there, where we've got the grass silage bales as well. It's quite nice that the computer's not lagging with so many bales around us. Yeah, that straw bale stack, it had a moment when I stacked it, but since then it's just stayed there, which is quite nice. Quite nice. Not sure what we're going to do when we get even more straw bales. That could be a problem. We might have to find another shed to stack them in for now. I'm also interested, so my plan was only to run this for about a year, so basically get through harvesting everything on here. We will make sure we have all the food for all the animals and then possibly stop, but that is dependent on whether people want to see me carry on and how you'd like to see this carry on. So if you want to see this keep going beyond another, you know, maybe 4 or 5 episodes, then stick a comment below, because yeah, it's, if people are enjoying it, then I'll maybe keep it going for longer. It's a fun series. It's really strange having a farm that's got so much stuff. Saying that, I'm going to be bringing back Greenlands, which is another very well equipped farm. I'll explain why in the reintroduction video for that one. There's a reason it's called the £10 million debt challenge. And yes, I started that before Simulation for the Nation did his £5 million debt challenge. It was a series that I started a long time ago, so that I had to stop when I switched laptops for a bit when this one was broken, because the old Dell could not run that save. It has a lot of mods in it. So we created Maypole and then Attingham. And now the new laptop is back. We're going to start bringing back those old series because they were fun and I want to complete them. They have the Greenland series, the £10 million debt challenge, has a very specific goal. The clue is in the title. So, yep. And I'm going to add maizePlus into that because that's going to be a heck of a challenge because it's got a lot of cows. So, yeah. At this point, I'm going to say thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. We do not smash like buttons. If you smash it, you have to buy me a coffee. Link for that is below. Comments, questions, or suggestions below as well. I try and answer them all. And if you're new to the channel and you've got this far through the video, think about subscribing. And I will see you next time on Attingham Park.